Good morning, everyone. This is Mike the Wandering Toque. Happy Sunday. It is time for some more Arkham horror. Today we are continuing my solo run, Amanda Sharp, through the Innsmouth Conspiracy campaign. This is Scenario 4, Devil Reef. So I would tell you what changes I made to my deck since the last adventure, but I can't because we were not allowed to spend experience. So, no changes. Once again, this is a deck that I've modified, found it on the Arkham DB, modified it slightly for solo use, mainly putting in some tech to deal with enemies. Big things I'm looking for are ways to draw cards because that's how I'm going to survive these first few scenarios. Drawing lots of cards, pitching lots of icons to tests. Amanda Sharp is, of course, I think one of the better investigators, one of the more interesting ones. Twos across the board in all stats, which is not very good. But every turn you have to tuck a card underneath her, and it gets committed to every test that it can be committed to. So she's got some real potential for burst awesomeness. All right, we are in Devil Reef. Not much to know for setup, except that the mission to rescue Lena Harper was successful, although she is not currently in this game. This is a flashback. Because it was successful, I get to start the game with Agent Dawson in my hand. That's in addition to all the other cards that I've drawn. This is the level where you are sitting in a boat, fishing vessel, in the churning waters. And these churning waters are connected to all of the reef locations. So for an action, I can move this boat to any one of these locations. These are all separate islands. Once we get into an island, we can explore the cave systems, but the cave systems are not connected to the other cave systems unless otherwise specified. So for the most part, I'm going to be jumping back and forth with this boat. If for whatever reason I don't have a boat, I can swim for 3 actions, I believe, uh, between ocean locations. And I think that's about it. Yeah, guess we're ready to go here. So, Agenda 1A, this is Secrets of the Sea version 2. What this means is back in the first scenario, I believe, I did not get one of the memories, which was a memory of a fight with a giant sea creature, which means that when the horror of Devil Reef comes out, he is unkillable. So that'll be fun to deal with. Let's see. Secrets of the Sea, as an additional cost for you to move from one ocean to another while not in a vehicle, you must spend 2 actions. And if I am in a fully flooded location, I struggle for air. If I did not enter an unflooded location during my turn, then I take 5 direct damage. Fun stuff. That is 9 doom. There's only one act in this game, Reef of Mysteries. Keys can only be claimed from Yahanathle locations using the squiggly ability on those locations. Okay, great. I'm supposed to find as many of these 3 keys as possible: purple, white, black. And if I control all 3 of them, I advance. Don't know how possible that is in solo, although this is a very speedy deck. So fingers crossed. Okay, my opening hand, I did a little bit of mulligan. Um, I was hoping for a little more card draw, but hey, I did get a Lab Assistant. Lab Assistant is key to get my hand size up. Dream Enhancing Serum is key for hand size and for a little bit of card draw if my luck holds out. And then I have Mind Over Matter, which is great tech for when I inevitably draw enemies. And in my last game, I drew every enemy right away, so I'm very happy to have it. Vicious Blow, we will see where that comes in handy. I do have a nice Eureka, and of course, Agent Dawson. I don't have Charisma yet, so, or rather, Miskatonic Archaeology funding is I think the one I'm going to go for, because it'll let me put out 2 lab assistants and one of my allies. So I'm not going to be playing him, even though he gives some decent stats. But he is great for pips. He's got a wild icon, a fist, and a will. So the icons that, if I really need them, I can pitch Dawson. Okay, so it's the beginning of the investigator phase. Amanda Sharp draws an extra card and then tucks another one beneath her, and it is a Whispers from the Deep. Well, it just so happens I am in the middle of the churning waters. So that's just thematic, isn't it? I have to put this card underneath her because that's her weakness. She is now ones across the board. That's it. Luckily for me, I'm in a vehicle, so I'm not considered at a fully flooded location. But actually, not a bad time for me to get that card because then I still have to do some setup, right? I'm not going to be taking any tests anyways, I hope. We'll see what the Mythos phase throws at me. Well, let's begin by first action, Dream Enhancing Serum. Second action, a Lab Assistant. That lets me draw 2 cards. I get a Promise of Power and a Curiosity. Okay, so we're getting stuff. I'm going to be shifting my hand at a certain point. Let's see. Just see what's visible on my screen. Yeah, this is a. Maybe I'll shift it down here. This is my Lab Assistant here. It might be there's a little bit of glare from my open window. I'll probably end up moving my hand depending on how the board comes out into play. I don't know how many cave locations are going to appear or where they're going to appear. So as my board state increases, I'm going to start moving cards around. Okay, so I don't have, all my awesome stuff. I'm really looking for a cryptic research to draw cards, just to draw, and I'm really looking for perception so that I can do a lot of tests and rake in the cards that way. Let's start by seeing how much real estate I have on this map. I'm going to move to this Devil Reef location. Shroud 2, 0 clues. After it gets put into play, increase its flood level. Put 2 random set-aside tunnel locations into play. Tidal tunnel locations, okay. Each adjacent to Black Reef, but not adjacent to one another. And then put 1 random set-aside Unfathomable Depths into play adjacent to both of these locations. So we've got let's put this up here. This is what the Black Reef location looks like. All right, so I've got 2, whoops, that should not be that side up, face down. We have 2 tidal tunnels, and then one of the special locations. There's 3 of these, and presumably they have something to do with these 3 keys. And we have 3 random keys that will do other things, I guess. I actually don't remember what they do. So, as always, the game is always going really, really well until you draw your first encounter card, right? So let's do Upkeep. I draw into a Vicious Blow. Well, I already have a Vicious Blow, so I can tap Dream Enhancing Serum to draw another card. It is a Deduction. I'm now sitting at 7 cards because Dream Enhancing Serum lets me not count duplicates, which is great. Let's throw a Doom out there on the agenda. And the first card of the game is a Deep One, Assault. Because why wouldn't I be starting the game with an enemy? Why not? Hey, all right. Let's see what we've got here. Got a bunch of lurking deep ones that are easy to kill, but you take damage for engaging them. Deep One Predators. Ugh. So yeah, some of these are kind of nasty. Deep One Bull. I don't want... I should have some resources. I want something relatively easy to kill to start because I want to get some momentum going in this game. So I think I am going to go straight for the Lurking Deep One. Which is now engaged with me. Let's put him up here. Okay, I take a damage. First blood. And beginning of the investigator phase, I will draw into nihilism. I'm just drawing all of my bad cards right away, aren't I? So I am nihilistic. This means that the autofail now deals me damage and horror. And there's really no point in me getting rid of that because I cycle through my deck so darn fast that it's just going to keep coming back out. Okay, so I have to choose a card to put underneath me. This might be where I go Dawson, just to get started here. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this Whispers from Deep. Let's throw a Vicious Blow underneath and add a Sharp. Ah. I mean, I'm going to want to move and investigate, aren't I? There's no point putting a deduction underneath me. Okay, we're going to do this because if I pull an auto fail, then I have to get rid of a second Vicious Blow, and I don't really want that. So let's do this. I'm going to pitch Thomas Dawson to this test. So I'm a 5 on a 2. What's a skull? Skulls are minus X. X is the number of keys the investigators control. Okay, so that's a pass. But while I'm here, the cultist is minus 2. If you fail, and this is an attack or evasion against a deep one, it engages you. If it is already engaged, it disengages, then re-engages. Tablet is minus 3. If you fail and you're not in a vehicle, take a damage. And the Elder Thing is minus 4. I don't know if I have any Elder Things in the bag. I have both cultists, but I think I took both Elder Things out as per rewards from other scenarios, so I think we're good on that. Anyways, this thing is now dead. It's the Lurking Deep one. It's in the discard pile. Let's do some reconnaissance here. Move to a tidal tunnel. We have a bootlegger's hideaway. After it's revealed, randomly choose one of the set-aside face-down keys and put it here without looking at it. Okay. Well, that is a Shroud 4. My curiosity is not going to give me a lot of cards right now, or not going to give me a big boost right now because I don't have a whole lot of cards in my hand. I think I'm just going to draw cards for this last action. Draw one card. It is an Unrelenting. Unrelenting is great. Lets me get rid of bad tokens or get rid of good tokens and then draw a bunch of cards. It's extremely versatile. End of turn. Ready that. No enemies on the board. Upkeep. A Dream Diary. It is not upgraded, so I'm not going to be doing a whole lot with it. I would have loved to have upgraded it, but I was not allowed to because I couldn't spend experience, could I? Let's put another Doom on the agenda. And I'm drawing into Riptide. Hey, it's not an enemy. This gains Search, though, because my location is not flooded. Psychic Pull. Ooh. Ooh, I have to discard a card at random from my hand. That's not happy. And then I test Will X, where X is the cost of this discarded card. If you fail, lose one action. Well, that's not fun. You. Aw, my mind over matter. I'm gonna really, really wish I had that. Okay, at least that's only a 1. So I'm doing a... This is a simple Will 2. Oh my goodness, do I Eureka this? I think I Eureka. I Eureka to get myself up by 2. -2. Okay, so at least I pass, and because I pitched Eureka, I get to search the top 3 cards on my deck for a card and draw it. I will draw a Magnifying Glass. The other 2 are Practice Makes Perfect, which are really good. They are absolutely good. In fact, maybe I should have pulled the Practice Makes Perfect instead. That Mag Glass is great, but if I can, say, pull in a Perception with that and get double use out of it, that's really good. Shuffle all this up. Okay, and most importantly, I did not lose an action from Psychic Pull. Beginning of my turn, I draw into a Cryptic Research. Here we go. So I have to put something underneath me. I don't see... Let's see here. I'm going to want to get some clues. I think I put Unrelenting under. Yeah. Because I'm kind of in that state where how many actions am I going to do certain things for? If I was doing 3 investigates in a row, it'd be easy, but I'm not. So let's put this under for the versatility. I will use cryptic research, which lets me just draw 3 cards fast. Perception, mind over matter, and a second perception, which means I get to tap Dream Enhancing Serum for a shortcut. Okay, this is great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I do have 9 cards in my hand, but luckily Lab Assistant gives me a hand size of 10. That worked out really well. So well, in fact, that I can just use Unrelenting for whatever the heck I want. So let's begin the game or begin the round by searching through my little pile of tokens here and filtering some out. All the bad ones I have, let's see. The Cultist is -2. I don't like that tablet. That tablet's -3, and I would take damage. So I'm going to seal the tablet. I'm going to seal the -4 and the -3, which means everything left in the bag is the autofail or taps out at -2 right now. So if I am up by more than 2, I pass. Now, if I just pitched this, what would curiosity get me? No, what would happen if I did practice makes perfect? We're going to do practice makes perfect. That's how we're going to play this. We're going to search the top 9 cards of my deck for a skill, pitch it to the test, and if I happen to pass it, I get to pull this back to my hand. Lots of fun stuff here. I've got a Promise of Power. I'm not going to choose that. Obscure Studies is not practiced, so I can't take that. Acquiring Mind is innate, not practiced. You know what? I have to take the Promise of Power. I have no choice. Yep, I have no choice, which means I am already just putting a curse in the bag. So doing this a little out of order, but let's say I had that curse in the bag and I have this Promise of Power pitched to this test. That means I've got 4, 5, 7 icons on a 4. I think I'm still good with the tokens that I left out. Drawing into a -1, so I do pick up this clue. This Promise of Power then returns to my hand. See what I mean? This hand size is going to get absolutely bonkers. All right, and this key that was on it was a green key. I'm going to take the key. I now have a green key. So, is there a point in me shortcutting right now? Probably not. I think I'm going to save that one more turn. Yeah, so I'm going to move down to the Unfathomable Depths. 5 Shroud. 1 clue. After this location is revealed, place the black key on it. If investigators at this location control both the red key and the green key and spend 2 clues, then I get the black key. So I did this in the wrong order, went to the wrong island. Oh well. 5 Shroud, hey? Let's see. That Curiosity is a very valuable card. That Perception's not doing anything for me right now. I mean, do I just sit on this? It'd be nice if I got that clue. But I would have to pitch something for it. I think I might pitch that Curiosity after all. That would get me up to 3. That would be 6 on a 5, which is not a ton. Not a ton at all. I'm trying to set myself up for next round. That's why this is a little more difficult. I also want to take advantage of Unrelenting while I have it in there. So if I put the same tokens on there, using unrelenting for its bag filtering, then I really need to be up by 7. Curiosity isn't quite enough on its own. Since I don't want to waste my perception. But maybe I do. Maybe I do. It's kind of a tough call. Because, you know what? Let me think about what's going to happen next turn. Next turn, I could investigate, move, investigate. That's an option. No, you know what? I'm going to move. I'm going to move to the title pool. Because this key isn't going to do... I can't get it anyways. I may never be able to get it. Holy moly, we get a face-down key. I mean, if this is the red key, then yeah, I'm going back for that black one. The problem is I don't know what it is until I actually get the clues. Okay, so that was investigate, move, move. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's throw these back in the bag. End of round upkeep. It is a lab assistant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9 cards. A resource. We'll put a doom on the agenda. Draw a card. Is it an enemy? It is, of course, an enemy. Oh, it's aloof. Prey fewest cards in hand. Aloof hunter. While an investigator at this thing's location has no cards in hand, it loses aloof. At the end of the enemy phase, each investigator at his location or connecting location discards 1 random card from their hand. Okay. That's not good, but there's way worse I could have had to deal with. So beginning of the investigator phase, I will draw into cryptic writings. Once again, this doesn't count because I did not draw this during my turn. But handy, that's pips. So now I have to pick something to go underneath me. I wonder if I just choose that cryptic writings just to... This could get wild. This could get really wild. So there's the stuff I'm saving and the stuff I'm not. I mean, these 4 cards here, I'm basically not using. The perceptions are great. The shortcut is great. It's the end of the enemy phase. I have to discard a random card. So that's after he hunts. So I won't really know where I'm going until I reveal what key is underneath here. So I'm actually going to put cryptic writings underneath. Is that the right call? No. Why don't we just go perception? Why don't we just go perception? That's what this deck is all about, right? Drawing cards. There we go. There we go. Somewhere the author of this deck is smiling at me now. Okay, so I guess I will investigate. This is a 3. I'm currently a 5. I'm going to pitch this. So now I'm up by 3. Skulls are, because I control a key, -1. So I do pick up this clue. And this key is yellow. It is not red, so I don't get to pick up that black key. But I did pass a perception check, so I do get to draw a card. It is an unrelenting. Great to see. I don't want to be near this lawyer. I don't need to be here anymore. I'm going to shortcut. Action 2, we're going to move the boat. Action 3, we're going to move the boat again. We're going to go to this reef. Okay, salt marshes. If I control the purple key, I can look at the revealed side of any tidal tunnels or unfathomable depths once per game. Look at that. After you reveal this, I increase its flood level. Okay, so we are now partially flooded. Put 1 random set-aside tunnel into play. That's it, just 1. Okay. That's it. That's all there is. All right, end of round. The enemy moves up. He's hunting me. I draw a card. It is an obscure studies. I'm at my hand limit now. Time to start spending my cards. We have a Doom on the agenda. 4 of 9. Drawing into Undertow. This goes into my threat area. After I move, I take 2 damage and 2 horror. Or I can discard a card from my hand, test Fist 3 or Agility 3 to fight the pull of the tides. If I succeed, discard Undertow. That's what I'm going to do. If I can possibly do it. Oh, Fleetness and Fist, hey? I do have Obscure Studies, though. Well, beginning of my turn, I draw into a Curiosity. I do have a Curiosity already, so I can tap Dream Enhancing Serum and draw into Look at the Deep Knowledge. I do not want to put curses in the bag. The reason why I don't is because I keep riding the line of passing and failing really complex or really important tests. The flip side of that is that I've actually been underdrawing curses for how many I put in the bag, so I don't know how to feel about that. I'm going to put the Obscure Studies underneath. Because... No. Put Unrelenting underneath, don't I? Don't I? Don't I put Unrelenting underneath? No, it's got to be Obscure Studies, because I don't have the pips to pass this test. Maybe I pitch Unrelenting anyways. Just to make sure I get through it. I think I need to do that. Okay, so we're going to do this Undertow test. And I'm going to put, as usual, those 3 tokens that I don't like seeing. Broken Tablet, the -4, and the -3. There we go. Because I don't need the card draw yet. Once I get Miskatonic Archaeology funding, that's a different story. And I do have to discard a card from my hand, don't I? That's going to be a Promise of Power. It's probably the one I'm least likely to use right now. And what's this test? This test is a 3. So I'm currently up by, wait, I'm a 5, 6 with Unrelenting. So I'm up by 3. Yeah, so -1. The only way I could have failed that was autofail or drawing that curse. I don't know. Yeah, getting really unlucky. Undertow is gone. That's the important thing. What's cool about that is that was a free action. That's odd. Usually treacheries require you to spend an action. Okay, Unrelenting is gone. I'm going to move for my first action into the Tidal Tunnels, and it is a Beggar's Hideaway. It's the red key. It's the red key. Well, well, well. Yeah. So currently I am up by 2. If I pitch a Curiosity, I'll be up by 4. -3. I get the clue. I flip the key. Blue key. Nope. There's no blue key here. There is a blue key. There's 3 keys hiding, or there's 4 keys hiding, not 3. So it's not the red key. That's because the red key was never in the pile, was it? There we go. Okay. So I have the blue key. And that was second action. Yeah, it was move, investigate. So for third action, I'm moving back to the boat. Enemy phase. Oh, I'm going to be discarding a random card from my hand. Yikes. That Loiger is kind of an issue, isn't he? Maybe I do need to deal with him. He's got 5 hit points. Well, let's see what he causes me to discard. Dream Diary. Okay. Totally okay with that. Upkeep. I draw into a magnifying glass. Get a resource. Doom on the agenda. 5 of 9. Big bad card is a hunting deep one. I can't enter vehicles or gain resources. I'm not in a vehicle, so as soon as he engages me, I lose $2. Okay. This is where that Loiger is going to be rather annoying. Beginning of my turn, I draw a card. It is Cryptic Writings. That is the wrong timing for that. I do have to put a card underneath her. We're going to be putting in a Perception, I believe. Is that the way to go? Because I do want the Vicious Blow. Maybe I do one test with the Vicious Blow, one test with the Perception. That's how I do this. I think that's my plan. Yeah, because I have a mind over matter. That'll help me out here. Okay, I'm going to put out a magnifying glass because I like it. Still debating that Perception. It'll let me draw cards when I use mind over matter. That's really why I like it. I mean, I could just spend an entire turn here whacking this thing with that. 4 on a 3, those are not good odds. So I would have to be seriously drawing cards for this, which I could do. That Loiger will hunt on me and then give me a little bit of time to move away from him. That's an interesting approach to this problem. Let's see what happens. Mind over matter. So I am now hitting this thing for a 4. Five, 6. Because I don't have a lot of cards in my hand right now. Zero. Okay, that's hit for 1. Perception draws me a card. Is a practice makes perfect. I don't know if I have practice cards left in my deck, so I don't have money to play it. So there. Action number 2, attacking. Don't want that running off the table. That is an Elder Sign. That doubles my pips. That is a 2nd damage on the hunting deep one. I draw a card for Perception. Dream Enhancing Theorem. And final action, +1. Okay. That's 3. Hunting deep one is gone. And I draw a card for the Perception. There's a shortcut. That's handy. I don't think I can shortcut on a boat. I believe that's the ruling for this one. So the enemy moves towards me. I have to discard a random card from my hand. I was going to say, please don't be my Dream Enhancing Serum, but I don't have the money to put it out anyways. So let's eeny, meeny, miny. Well, aw, my shortcut. That's more important than one might think in this deck. Couldn't have been my deep knowledge, could it? End of round. I draw into an Inquiring Mind. I gain a resource. Let's put a Doom on the agenda. Where are we at? 6 of 9. Bad card is a Lurking Deep one. Enemy, 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 enemy. Oh, I have 2 damage. Thought I only had 1. Is that right? Might have to roll back the tape. Yeah. So I'm engaged with this thing. Fun. Beginning of my turn, I draw into a magnifying glass. I take a horror because I've emptied my deck. And I have to put something underneath me. It's going to be the Vicious Blow. A Vicious Blow, a Promise of Power. Yeah. And then move away from this Loiger who's been chasing me. 5 is a lot for me to deal with right now. Maybe if I had upgraded Vicious Blow, I could do it, but I don't, so... And I don't have Red Glove Man or any other thing that can get me up to 5, 6 stats yet. So we're going to put Vicious Blow underneath me. I'm going to pitch Promise of Power to this test. We're going to put another curse in the bag. So I am a 4, 5, 6, 7 on a 2 minus 3 is enough to get rid of the Lurking Deep one. Action 2, Action 3, we've moved on to this other Devil Reef location. After it's revealed, put 2 random set-aside tidal tunnels into play. Not adjacent to one another. That Loiger is going to be constantly a bee in my bonnet. Ooh, lost my lab assistant. Not awesome. Drawing into at the beginning of my turn. Oh no, this is the enemy or the mythos phase. 6, 7, drawing into Aquatic Ambush. When I reveal a Chaos token while attacking an enemy at a flooded location, I reveal a second one. At the end of the round, I discard a copy of this from play. Okay, well, I'm not attacking anything this round. Beginning of my turn, I flip over an Unrelenting. Glad to see that. That is going underneath me. We are going to move the Tidal Tunnel. Flip this over. I increase its flood level. Oh, I'm supposed to. The Lonely Isle doesn't get flooded. It's interesting. Thought all the Devil Reef locations ended up partially flooded. I guess not. And this has 2 clues on it. And is victory. Okay, cool. I guess I'm going to put out my second mag glass. So I'm now investigating for a 5. Let's, you know what? We're going to seal some good tokens this time. Because I want the cards. 0, Elder Sign, and the +1. So there's still a 0 in there. Skulls are now -3, so that's probably how up I want to be for this test. So I do get to draw 2 cards immediately for sealing the good tokens. Obscure Studies and a shortcut. Love to see that. If I pitch a deduction to this test, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we're going to go 8. we're going to go up by 4. 0. I slurp up both of these clues. I do want to move, but at the same time, what happens if I just investigate this again for no reason whatsoever? I draw 2 cards immediately. That's what I do. I draw into a Mind Over Matter and a Thomas Dawson. We're just investigating this, just for the unrelenting. -4. Look at that. I failed. But I drew 2 cards. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because it's the end of my turn. This freaking Loiger is on me. Discarding Thomas Dawson. That's not so hot. That thing's really hampering my day. End of round, so upkeep. Promise of Power. Good to see that. I mean, if he's on me and I have a Vicious Blow, I can do it. I just have to muster a lot of combat to overcome that 3. He's going to end up hitting me. I mean, that's well designed, right? Deep 1 Predator. When he engages me, move a clue to him. Yeah. And he hunts. They all hunt, don't they? Beginning of my turn, I draw into a Perception. We're putting Perception underneath me. I'm going to spend a resource on Mind Over Matter. He is a 4, which is what I am. Five, 6, 7. I have to do this twice. -1. That's a single hit. I draw a card. Practice makes perfect. Good. So I can Dream Enhancing Serum to draw another card. It's a Dream Diary. At this point, I just want fodder in my hand. I can't use Inquiring Mind. I'm going to have to use this Promise of Power. Get off this thing. That's another curse in the bag. So, what am I up by? I'm up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm up by 4. Okay, what do we got here? That's 1 curse, so I'm up by 2. -2. Barely. I take control of all of its clues and keys when I defeat it. It's gone. I move. That's it. The Liger eats a card. Should just... No, you know what? I'm going to shortcut. I'm going to shortcut before that happens. Because he's probably going to eat it anyways. I want to see what's up here. Then I'll know if I have to stay in this island or not. I can move from Underwater Cavern to any flooded cave cavern. It is fully flooded. That's one way to get out of here. All right, random card that gets removed as per Loiger is a Dream Enhancing Serum. Fine. Upkeep. Mind Over Matter. Nice to see. Oh, yep. I've doomed out here. Well, this Aquatic Ambush should have gone away last turn. All right, what do we got here? Spawns at the fishing vessel's location. It is Hunter, massive, retaliate, cannot enter cave locations. When it would be defeated, instead remove all damage from it and exhaust it. It cannot ready. That's a thing. That's a thing. Aquatic ambush, great. When you reveal a chaos token while attacking an enemy at a flooded location. You know what? Lonely Isle is not flooded. So I don't have to reveal 2 tokens, evading that thing. Beginning of my turn, I draw into a cryptic research. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Spending this. Oh, I have to tuck something underneath me first. What the heck am I going to tuck underneath me? I should have a resource from last turn. Nothing's going to help. The deep knowledge might help. Did I draw my cards for perception? I don't think I did. Mistake on my part. Vicious blow. Whispers from the deep. Curiosity. Okay, good thing that Whispers of the Deep came out at that moment and not earlier. What I don't like about this is that the Terror of Devil Reef, if I go in there and evade and move, well, no, I can't do that. I can move, evade, run. That works. I think that's what I have to do. Moving into the Terror of Devil Reef's location. I need to evade this thing. Now, I can't mind over matter and practice makes perfect same go because I don't have the resources to do it. There's no clue on this location. I am currently a 3 book. Okay, so let's pitch my mind over matter, or let's use my mind over matter. I'm currently a 3 on a 3. This puts me up by. Boy, no, we're just pitching. We're pitching. We're pitching. These two are going to cancel each other out. No, I can have this underneath me next turn. I can. If I'm just moving. I'm okay with that. 3, 4, 5. 5. I'm up by 2. That's not good. -3, I failed. Okay, so curse is out of the bag, and I failed. I'm out of stuff to do. So this is very bad. I'm pitching both practice makes perfect because I have to get out of here. +1. Okay, I actually didn't need to do that. So he's evaded, at least. Yikes. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Lawyer moves on to me. This guy wakes up. I discard a random card from my hand. Hey, you know what's really good about having only 4 cards in your hand and a weakness? Maybe my weakness will go. Upkeep. Curiosity. Resource. Doom on the agenda. Don't be an enemy. Deep 1 assault. Each deep 1. The lawyer is not a deep 1. I have to get a deep 1 enemy. Okay, this I'm not doing well. I'm not doing well, and the problem was the lawyer. Looking back at this, how the heck am I going to get out of this mess? I'm out of tricks. So who am I going to take? It'd be nice if I got at least one of these mantles before I expired. Let's see here. So many cards in this that are not enemies, and yet I still have to pull them. How does that card read? Spawn it, engage with you. So I draw something, it does spawn engage with me. Deep one bolt. Why? Because he doesn't hunt. That's the only reason. I have been forced to toss all my combat cards because everything hunts. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm literally just standing in one place, hoping not to die. Okay, beginning of my turn, I draw into an unrelenting. That's helpful. That's going to go underneath me. That's the only chance I have. The only chance I have. As it is, I'm only evading with 2. Okay. Oh, I had to discard a random card, didn't I? That was not my unrelenting because I drew that at the beginning of my turn. Dream Diary. Okay. Well, I'm going to start sealing good tokens. The zeros, 2 zeros, and an Elder Sign. That +1 might come in handy. Because what's going to get me out of here, if anything, is going to be drawing cards. Let's pitch a Eureka. Evading the... Which one are we doing? The bull. -2. What was I? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's just barely enough. So he's... I just got to get out of here, right? I do get to draw a card for Eureka. It is a shortcut. I am considering going into that underwater cavern and ducking out. But if I do, I'm leaving my boat behind. If I leave my boat behind, that means I'm swimming into churning waters. That monster's going to chase me, and then I got to swim out. That's not going to work. I could shortcut out of here now for 2 actions. But that's a fool's errand. Okay. How do I get out of this thing? Okay, I do the same thing again. I go unrelenting, try to evade the big thing. We have practice makes perfect. We have a lap assistant. Practice makes perfect. Promise of power. There we go. I have never been so happy to see a promise of power before. We're evading the big thing. It is a 3. And I am up by now 4. Curse goes in the bag. Really? Really? Didn't even need the promise of power? Well, it does go back to my hand. That's the good news. He is evaded. I get out of here. I'm in churning waters. Well, that was rough. He will move to me. I will discard a random card from my hand. And the other two will ready. That's the promise of power. Hope I didn't need that one again. He's two ready. There's no resign location. I survive until I doom out, or I die. Upkeep. I draw into another cryptic writings, which I cannot use. It's not my turn. But Dream Enhancing Serum, I can get another Eureka. That's nice. That's really nice. Doom. Dragged under. Wow, is this bad? I'm out of my vehicle in the middle of the ocean. I have to test Fist or Fleetness to get out, or to get rid of this thing, and then climb back in my boat. Okay, beginning of my turn. Perception. At least it wasn't a Whispers of the Deep. Yeah. I have to do a what test now? So this goes away. I should put something underneath me. Might as well be that Eureka. What the heck else am I going to do? Do I just swim to shore? Then I have to swim back. The timing of these tests are so awful. I've got will pips for days. Got book test pips for days. I've got one more fleetness icon that'll put me up by one. That's not good. And I have a fist that could put me even. That's not good. Or I spend my whole turn just moving. I can't pass this test. I've got no way of drawing cards. My odds of doing this are so abysmally small that there's no point in doing it. So we're going to put a cryptic writings underneath me. I'm going to swim to the Devil Reef, where we're going to make our last stand. Put a tidal tunnel and unfathomable depths in here. And I'm going to shortcut to get into this tunnel. This has 2 clues. And it enters play partially flooded, cannot be fully flooded. Yikes. I'm alive. And around, the terror moves to the ocean. This thing moves here, which means I discard a card at random from my hand. I mean, if I'm going to be locked down anyways, maybe I make my final stand and just do what I can to take out that Loiger. At least for the victory point, right? Discarding an Inquiring Mind. Well, the one time it would have been useful. And I draw into a Vicious Blow. Dream Enhancing Serum triggers. I get a deduction. That's really nice. We have a Doom. Don't give me another enemy. Shapes in the water. Test 2 will. If you fail, take 2 horror. What happened underneath me? Oh, that's not a will pin. This test gets +1 difficulty if your location is flooded. You know what? I'm going to just take this on the chin. Because would I rather die from damage or horror? That's a good question. I definitely have more horror soak in here. But I'm also going to take more horror from cycling through my deck. If I take this, I mean, this gives me a chance of dying by horror. Let's just take it. -2. So I take 2 horror. That's all right. I will live. In fact, maybe I put it on a lab assistant? Maybe play a lab assistant? Yeah, I'm going to put one of those on my lab assistant. It's not like I have the cards in hand to really be able to utilize her. So that's that. Beginning of my turn, I draw a card as per her ability. It is a shortcut. Always nice to see a shortcut. I have to put a card underneath her. Might as well be a deduction or perception. I think it's going to be a perception. First action, I'm going to put out another lab assistant to draw 2 cards. Dream Diary, Mind Over Matter. My hand is getting a little messy because I keep having to reshuffle it. And that's a lot. So I am currently investigating as a 6. This would put me up to an 8. Nine. +1, really? Maybe I should have just, raw fought these things. Apparently I'm really good at that. Shortcut. Let's see what's at this unfathomable depth. Oh, I drew a card for perception. It's cryptic research. There we go. Now this is going. Deep 1 grotto. After it's revealed, increase its flood level. Then put the purple key on it. It's got 1 clue. If an investigator controls both the red key and the blue key. I just don't have that red key. You know what it was? It's because I forgot to shuffle the red key in. Till the end. I think that might have accidentally screwed me over. So the red key is in the last one. Probably the locations that use all of these other keys are in that one. Well, I might as well investigate this while I'm here because I have a perception on me. Well, let's cryptic research first because I get to draw 3 cards. Mind Over Matter, Promise of Power, Obscure Studies. I already know what I'm going to be doing in a turn. It may look like that. But Mind Over Matters, so I'm going to pitch Curiosity, which gives me 3 extra pips. So I'm 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on a 4. Up by a lot, another +1. This game's laughing at me. All right, I get a purple key. I get a purple key. No, I don't get a purple key. Sorry. I can only, at this location, pick it up if I do the thing. So I did play, investigate, shortcut, investigate. That is the end of my turn. I draw a card for perception because I passed that. It is my dream enhancing serum. I'm still dragged under, which is funny. End of this round. The enemies move up. The terror of Devil Reef is staring at me. The lawyer is going to force me to get rid of things. Don't be a vicious blow, please. Yeah, of course. Of course. Upkeep. Deep knowledge. Gain $1. Put out a doom. We're 4 of 9. Drawing into horrors from the deep. Test fleetness. If I fail, take 2 damage. This gets +1 difficulty, so this is a 3. I'm gonna fail this test. I'm going to fail this test. I'm going to use Obscure Studies. Ooh, I'm so going to regret using Obscure Studies on this. So going to regret that. So I'm going to want to hit this dang Loiter. Although, really, he's going to get rid of this card anyways. He's going to randomly discard this card because that's how it works. So I get Perception back to my hand. This is a 3 on a 5. -3, so I fail. I fail by 1, which means I take 2 damage. I am 1 away from death. Beginning of my turn, I draw Whispers from the Deep. Whispers from the Deep is underneath me. Okay, that's fine because I'm still here. So this turn, what I'm going to do is draw cards. Maybe move in. I'm going to move in. Move in 1. And draw 2 cards. That should be unexhausted. We have a Practice Makes Perfect. And an Unrelenting. I am suiting up. So, at the end of this turn, I randomly discard a card from my hand. It is a Deep Knowledge. There we go. Finally, this game's being a little nice to me. The odds are coming back. All right, so we still have a couple of Mind Over Matters. We've got a Practice Makes Perfect, a Vicious Blow, Promise of Power, Eureka Perception, Dream Enhancing Serum, Unrelenting, Dream Diary. I can make this work, and I draw my Curiosity, gain a resource, Doom on the agenda, 5 of 9. Psychic Pull. Discard a random card from my hand. And test will. We're going to see if I lose actions. How much damage does that Loiger do? Is it 1? Yeah, it's 1. Mind over matter. Little yucky. Let's see if I can get at least another victory point out of this before I die. Beginning of my turn. Draw a card. Oh. Sorry, I have to test. I test a 1. I have that Curiosity, don't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I am going to pitch a Curiosity and a Eureka to this test. So I am up by 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm a 5 on a 1. 0. So I don't lose an action. I get to sift through here and pick up a card. Hey, look, a Thomas Dawson. Beginning of my turn, I draw a card. I take a Psychic damage because I've emptied my deck again. I get to choose something to throw beneath me. It's going to be Vicious Blow. Vicious Blow goes underneath me. Whispers of the Deep is gone with a fresh deck. I do like that. That gives me a 3. Pitching Thomas Dawson gives me a 4/5. And Unrelenting gives me a 6. I'm going to... What am I here? I'm a 6 on a 3? No, we're just going to get rid of bad tokens. I need these to land. Unsurprising, that's a pass. 2 damage on the Liger. Oh, he should be actually in my threat area now. So this goes away. We're going to pitch a Promise of Power. What am I, 7? So I'm up by 4 now. -3 is another 2 damage. Unfortunately, I did not have my other Promise of Power, or my other Vicious Blow, so I couldn't finish him in 1 turn. Which means, in the enemy phase, my Lab Assistant is taking a big hit to the face. I'm losing a random card. Actually, is it? Each investigator at his location. So even though I'm engaged with him, he's still doing his nasty effect. Losing a perception, which is unfortunate. Upkeep. Deep Knowledge. Resource. Doom. Riptide. If your location's unflooded, nope. I test 3 fleetness. If I fail, choose and discard an asset I control. I'm okay with that. I'm testing a 2. -2. I failed. Of course I did. There goes a magnifying glass. That's not doing me anything. Beginning of my turn, I draw into Cryptic Writings, which again, I don't get to keep. We're going to put this perception underneath me. All right, let's get rid of this Loiger. Mind over matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 on a 3. -2. Loiger's gone. Hallelujah. That is victory display. I have 3 rounds now. Just gonna draw cards. Deduction. Cryptic Research. Let's spend the Cryptic Research immediately to draw Mind over Matter, Inquiring Mind, and a Vicious Blow. End of round. No enemies. Oh, did I? I did not defeat a deep one, so this bull doesn't move. My upkeep is I draw into a Curiosity to get a resource. Let's put a Doom on here. 7 of 9. Malfunction. This is going to be very anticlimactic because there's nothing I can really do with the boat all the way over there. I was hoping I'd find the other underground cavern over here. I really was hoping that. And I really wanted one of these special keys. It's unfortunate I wasn't able to do that because I've only got 2 rounds left, and I can't do it because I have to take 3 actions swimming. And these, actually, these locations, these reefs, are not connected to each other. Or they are. Are they? Oh, it actually is. So if I know where the islands are, some of them are connected to each other. That's a neat little quirk. So I can swim directly to them, bypassing this boat in the middle. That's interesting. The catch is I would need a shortcut because I'd have to evade that terror of the Devil Reef first. That's a problem. Let's put out a second Dream Enhancing Serum. Oh, I didn't put a card underneath me, did I? Of course, can't draw that. We're just gonna slot this underneath. Speaking of, I should have drawn 2 cards for that perception. I don't think I did that. Okay, so let's get a second. Do I have any duplicates in here? I do. I have 1 duplicate. So the Dream Enhancing Serum. I won't put out the other ones because I'll only tap 1 Dream Enhancing Serum because my turn order was, I went out of order. Okay, so that's a card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I have too many cards. That's fine. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to draw cards because I'm looking for that shortcut. Lab Assistant. Let's gain $1 from my last action. So, upkeep. Unrelenting. So let's decide what I want to keep here. I want to keep these 3. I want to keep Mind Over Matter for sure. Practice Makes Perfect isn't doing much. Yeah, these guys are going to go. I have to worry about my hand size now, don't I? Oh, but I do get to keep duplicates. So Practice Makes Perfects get to stay. And that's it. That's my turn. Upkeep. Draw into a Curiosity. Tap 2 cards. It's another shortcut. And a Promise of Power. I'm going to be discarding a couple of cards. Let's discard Promise of Power. And we'll discard a Eureka. I take a Horror for decking myself out again. Turns out that red key was really, really important, wasn't it? Doom on the agenda. I've only got 1 turn left. Drawing into Rising Tides, I increase the flood level of the nearest location that can. See, that would have been a fairly simple one to throw in earlier. And just to say that I could do it, we're going here with a shortcut. Oh, sorry, beginning of my turn. Beginning of my turn, I draw into a Lab Assistant. I am going to toss this Lab Assistant. No, sorry, don't toss. I get to put something underneath me. That's going to be a Curiosity. So I shortcut in. I Mind Over Matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8 on a 3 to evade the terror of Devil Reef. -1. It's evaded. I shortcut, but it's going to take me 2 extra actions to move to the Churning Waters. I'm back at my boat where there's a malfunction. End of round. He wakes up. I draw into Perception. And that's the end of the agenda. "We've got to pull back," Mr. Moore shouts over the roar of the waves. "The sea's too rough and the tide's getting worse by the minute. Stay out here any longer and we'll capsize for sure." You protest, but the captain is right. The weather's gotten so bad, Mr. Moore can barely control the ship. Worse yet, in just a matter of hours, the tide has begun to swallow the coastal islands, leaving little for you to investigate. You nod to the captain, frustrated. This will have to do for now. So I record that the tide has grown stronger. I did not die. That's handy. Um, this hurt, not getting the red key. I mean, I have one island to go. And what does it say? If I control both the blue and the green key, then I can get the white key. So yeah, that one would have been a great one for me to go to. It's just unfortunate that I didn't choose that island. Partially because I forgot to put the red key in there, so it was going to be the last one I pulled out, which, my own fault. But there we have it. This is tough anyways. I was hoping, like I said, I was hoping to get at least one of these trinkets, but I didn't get any. They can be rather nice for helping you. There's one that gives you extra movement in flooded locations. Really handy stuff. Let's see, but I did not die, so I do not have trauma. And that is our one. I do get Victory X, so we have a Bootlegger's Hideaway, another Bootlegger's Hideaway. 2 Underground Rivers is 4, and the Loiger is 5. So, 5 XP, at least. I think you can get almost 12 in this one. But that's, like, if you get the other Terror, Devil Reef, and a couple other things go your way. You can get quite a bit. 5 is respectable solo. I'm just going to go for it. And when we come back, I get to put in all my experience, which is quite a bit. So things are going to look quite a bit different. There's going to be a lot more card draw. There's going to be probably some Miskatonic archaeology funding. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I will catch you all next week.